Now it should be working because sometimes you just got to hit the restart button and then just get everything going again. And then we get the restart button and everything gets going again. And so hopefully this is working. It is Friday Eve. Welcome live to SHALLZ, which really isn't on Monday anymore. It's on any day of the week. Hi, Amy. Hi, everybody. I'm going to go live on Instagram as well. I was having a little bit of trouble getting online. I'm hoping this is working now. Restarted and rebooted, kind of what all of us need to do on this planet. Sometimes. Ozita, hello. And waiting for my Instagram to like kick up. I don't know what's going on with Instagram now. It seems like the internet just does not want to cooperate with me. It is Thursday. Catherine, hello. Minu, hello. Michael from Oceanside. Sheila from hello. Might need to change. Yes, that's why. That's why. Now I should be able to go live. How's everybody doing, Shore? And Fahima and David. Everybody hopping in here. I have so much to talk about. I haven't been live here in a few days, maybe even a few weeks. Hi, Instagram. We're already live on Facebook. I was going with some technical difficulties with the internet. I finally think I got things up and running. Hi, handsome.
Hi.
How are you, my lovey? Pikachu, Pikachu. Pikachu. Bye, Pikachu. I have so much I want to talk to you about, and I want to check in with you, and I have information to tell you, and I have been a little MIA with the predictability of my lives because I obviously work still in the morning, and then I come home and I have 4 kids, and 3 of which I need to homeschool. So my priority is them, and sometimes I have to put this when I know that I've hit my limit or I can't get it all done. This is the first that has to go on the back burner. Rebecca, hello, and Talene, hello. Yum Yum Bake Shop, how is everybody doing? You guys doing okay? You guys doing okay? Look, there is light at the end of this tunnel. I promise you there's light at the end of this tunnel. And we will get there. I am hearing in California some really good news. I'm hearing little birdies sit on my shoulder and telling me good news about what we have done in Southern California, what we need to keep doing, but whatever we're doing is working. It's working. And hi Nosley, hi Hernandez. So I have so much stuff I want to talk to you about. I just finished an interview with Dr. Bradley. You know that he is my go-to guy. He is the head of infectious diseases at Rady Children's Hospital. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 6th largest hospital in the United States as far as children goes. I take my information very seriously of who I get it from. I don't usually pop it up off the internet or what auntie says or uncle says or friend says or internet says and pass it on to you. I make sure that when I do come and give you information, it's really good information and it's true information. It's not conspiracy theories. It's not what you think. It's not what, what you're hearing. So I'm here to give you great information, and I'm also here to tell you about some really excellent stories and interviews I have coming up for you in the next week or so. So I needed to take a moment. I'm really good about that sometimes, is to hit the brakes and be with my kids and figure it out because it's a lot. I've had a few meltdowns. I've cried a little bit. Just like you, I think it's stressful. All of this is stressful. Our life just changed. And for me, I am a big people person, Ken and Rebecca and Madie. I'm a people person and I miss hugging people. I miss seeing people. I miss being close to people. I miss having parties. I miss being around my friends. I miss being around my family. So I have had my moments where I have struggled in the past few weeks, and at the same time still trying to be strong for others, still trying to be able to get on the news and do what I do. So so I am here to answer some of your questions if you have them, and to tell you some of the things that I found out, and then I'm going to hop off and go do dinner, and then the kids have drama class and this class, and then I got to get ready for work tomorrow. So about Dr. Bradley, one of the things that I did a 24-minute interview with him. You'll see it tomorrow on the Fox 5 Morning News, and I will end up uploading the whole entirety of it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it if you haven't already, so you'll get an alert when something new goes up. It's under SHALL, the letter Z, SHALLZ. If you go to YouTube, that's where you'll find quite a few videos, and I'll also get it up on Instagram and Facebook. So one of the things that Dr. Bradley reached out to me and wanted to talk to me about, and wanted to do it so I can get the information to you, is that there is a lot of talk about tests, the antibody test and the coronavirus test that is popping up all over the place. So he's going to talk about this tomorrow, but the takeaway that he wanted me to get this information to you, number one, in San Diego, kids are still doing really, really well with coronavirus. Really well. They had one hospitalization, and I knew about that last week, and that child has since left the hospital, and they're doing good. Kids are still doing good. So this is still good news for parents, because we know a lot of us are so worried about our little kiddos, which was really good news. I love hearing that. The second thing that he talked about was beware of these coronavirus tests that are starting to pop up. Why? He said that the information that the truck that pulls up and says, I'm just making this up, COVID test 800, I can test you, give me your credit card, or these pop-up clinics, or people that might get access to tests and say, hey, you could test for the antibodies. The problem he says that they have, that if a test is not FDA approved, these tests could provide results that are not accurate. And there is a danger in not having accurate test results. So what that means is if you do one of these drive-up clinics, and I bring this to you, it was kind of ironic because I had this young woman in San Diego sent me a message this morning and said, Shalli, I went up to one of these, there was this drive-up clinic down in South San Diego County. I gave them my credit card information, and then they told me they'll contact me for when the testing was supposed to do. Well, I've come to find out now that this was a testing site that was set up in the Los Angeles area. I think it's kind of made its way down, and it went down into San Diego. And if you are not approved by the FDA to conduct these tests, the FDA, you're breaking the law. You are breaking the law. The tests that should be conducted, the antibodies test where they prick your little finger and they get some blood, this needs to be an FDA approved test. So what's happening is that if these tests are not valid, and let's say this test, because there's several different tests, right? You get the swab test or the throat test where they test you to see if you currently have coronavirus. The antibodies test, which is something that at some point here in the US, pretty much all of us are going to get when they come online and they're so readily available. With a little prick of the blood, they are going to be able to tell you if you've been exposed to coronavirus in the past several months, if your body has seen it and has developed some antibodies to it. So here's the danger. When you go to 1-800-COVID or a website, test me COVID, send me a kit, and they send you a kit and you do the blood and you squeeze the blood and you do it. If that test gives you a negative, and I'm repeating a doctor's information who is the head of infectious diseases at one of the largest hospitals in the United States. I am not a doctor. I do not offer medical advice. I am a news anchor and a journalist. My job is to get information and bring it to you. So I'm repeating, and again, this will be on the Fox 5 Morning News, and I'm going to post his whole interview so you can hear it straight from the doctor's mouth. If you get a negative, then you know that you need to be careful. You got to keep taking those precautions because that means that your body hasn't been exposed to coronavirus. If you get a positive and you really weren't positive and you weren't really, sorry, I'm trying to poof people. I don't even know why I deal with these poofy people. Oh my goodness. Like, go away. Like, just poof yourselves. Like, just don't be here. I got bigger things to worry about than you guys. If you turn out to be positive and negative, and you really were positive, and you start to go out. Okay, let me start again. Sorry, I got distracted with people who are just being nasty. Okay, so if you turn out and you got a positive antibody test, then that tells you that you think that you've been exposed to COVID, right? So that gives you some sort of comfort that maybe you're able to start going out in society again. And if you do that, but you weren't really positive and you were negative, and you contract the coronavirus, you have this false sense of, I'm okay, I had it, I'm okay, where technically, if the test did not give you the accurate results and it wasn't FDA approved test, which they're circulating out there, then you have now gone out in society and you could get the coronavirus and you could start spreading it to people. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Paulette? Does that make sense? So Leela, as a doctor in the main hospital of coronavirus in Tehran, she says that I'm right. So you need to be very careful. And he is worried about you. Do not fall into a trap of these tests without making sure these tests are FDA approved. There is a website, and he does have, I just finished logging his story, and I'm going to post this for you. He tells you there's 3 things that you should do. There's 3 things you should do if you end up wanting to get these tests, which he says you should wait. Wait. Your doctors are going to be able to get these tests out to you soon. Not in a few weeks. It might take a few months, but from what I'm hearing, like, we're pretty much all going to get tested at some point. So it's just a matter of a waiting game, but you want to make sure that you're getting the correct test. You're getting a test that is working, it's valid, and it's giving you a correct answer. So he says that if you do get one of these tests and you want to spend $100 and you want to go test your blood and it comes back to be negative, he asked me to tell you that you should take that result and say, okay, I could be negative, but I could have been positive as well, and I probably should wait until that FDA test comes out to be able to validate this information. Does that make sense? Faranak June, does that make sense? So the information Piqui Weird is saying is the test FDA approved accurate. The FDA, according to Dr. Bradley, who works closely with all the departments that are doing all these things, they have tested this particular test that they have approved many, 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 many times. And they've tested to make sure that is accurate. I mean, obviously, no test when you say 100%. I'm sure that there's a plus or minus error. But I'll tell you, it's probably a heck of a lot better than the pop-up clinics and these websites that are popping up right now and saying, hey, you can test your coronavirus, give us your credit card, we'll send you a kit, because you really don't know where those kits are coming from. You don't know if they are approved. I'm sure a few of you probably even saw some of the testing on the masks that you're ordering online. Did you see that video? That some of the masks, depending on, you could blow through them. They had lit like a lighter, and if you could blow through them, some of them were so thin that you could blow and turn off the flame. And then there were the masks, the surgical masks, not the N95, but just regular surgical masks that when you try to blow through them, the flame doesn't blow out. So please do not, Matthew, yes, here's Matthew. Matthew, you say it to everybody. Do not waste your money on an antibody test unless it is FDA approved. There are several companies that are now offering it. And if you go to the FDA's website, there is a link on there that if you by chance want to waste your money because you have extra money and you want to do it, you can go and ask them, What is the name of this test? And you can look it up yourself. Because if it's not FDA approved, those people are breaking the law. They are breaking the law here in the United States. I don't know about whatever country, like wherever you're at, but they're breaking the law here, and the FDA can shut them down. So my English-speaking friends, feel free to tell my Farsi-speaking friends and translate for them. So that is the case for antibodies tests, and I wanted to pass that information on to you because it's important. It's important, and he talked about a lot more other things, and I will share that all with you in the coming days. I am going to turn off these comments here on Instagram because I am finding that they're a little bit more distracting to me than trying to get some information to you. So I look at my kids, they're drawing. Some of the other things that I just wanted to talk to you about really quick. And Facebook, thank you for being so awesome and so loving and so kind with your comments. I tend to find on Instagram, we got a bunch of people get a little squirrely up here. I mean, I don't blame you. We're all in our house and everybody's getting kind of squirrely, right? My goodness is staying at home. My goodness is staying at home. Yeah, so Mehrik Negar says she just heard a commercial on a local radio about a lab testing for $195. So again, we don't know where that test is from. We don't know if it's FDA approved. If it's FDA approved, fine. If you want to spend the $200. But Dr. Bradley said in the next few weeks to coming months, this test should be widely available enough that you can go to your normal doctor and tell your normal doctor, your primary care physician, I'd like to do an antibody test, and they'll be able to do it and get results from you. I don't know if it's going to be immediately, because the other thing that he was talking about in the testing is that these people who do the antibody test and even the coronavirus test, the results, especially with the antibody test, develop over a certain period of days. So it's not an immediate result. So anybody who's telling you I can get a result for you like right then, the test isn't accurate. It'll come back negative, and if you did have it, it would have developed after day 5, 6, or 7. So that's another thing for you to know. So some of the other things I wanted to tell you that I'm working on, and I just wanted to check in with you. I am going to do a new thing. It's called Ask a Question. I will post more on this tomorrow. I'm going to record a few little things for you. If you have a question for any of the guests that I have interviews set up with, and I'll turn the comments back on Instagram here so I can read some of your comments. If you have a question for any of the guests, including Dr. Bradley, who I'm going to Rady Children's Hospital next week, I'm going to do a almost coronavirus Q&A with him. It'll be a bigger interview, a longer interview, and I'm going to take your questions to him. If you have a question for me that you would like to ask, anything that you would like to ask me, or any of the guests that I tell you that I have set up in the next week, this is what you can do. Shoot a video of yourself up to 15 seconds. Please don't let it go more than 15 seconds. Say your name, say where you're from, and ask me your question, and send it to either my Instagram account. You have it, SHALLZ Zamarodi. Facebook, there's no way to direct message me on Facebook, so you would send it to my email, and my email is right there on your screen, helloshalz@gmail.com. So your name, where you're from, your question in less than 15 seconds. Record yourself because I want to see your beautiful faces. And I am going to start inserting your videos, and then I'm going to go find the answers to your questions. I'm going to play your video, and then I'm going to play the answer. I'm going to play your beautiful faces, and then I'm going to play the answer. Do you get how that's going to work? So I get a lot of questions. It's very difficult sometimes. Like, I want to answer you, but you are one of 200 people asking the same exact question. So send me 15 seconds, your name, where you're from, your city, I'd like to know, and your question. Send it directly to my inbox, direct message me at Instagram or email me at helloshalz@gmail.com. If it's more than 15 seconds, I can't use it. The quality goes to, I can't use it. So 15 seconds, please. And I, as you can imagine, get so many messages. I sometimes I just can't keep up. So my apologies if I cannot get to all of them. I will get to the ones that I'm getting multiple ones or ones that I feel like I can get an answer for you, and I'll start posting those. Okay. Okay. Paulette asks, are we going to have a party on Saturday? Paulette, I am going to take this weekend off. I want to just chill like you guys a little bit. I've been so overloaded with work and kids that I just want a weekend where, thank you, Moj Creation. I had a feeling. I know. Give me a second. Sorry. I'm gonna, yes. Let me get rid of this. Oh, some of y'all, you so embarrassing. Some of y'all, what you do. That's like a whole side conversation. It's a whole side conversation. But anyways, ask me a question. Please send these to me. And let me tell you the interviews that I have coming up in the next 10 days. So you, if any of these, and I'll post this again, you have questions for these people, I'm going to take your questions to them. On Monday, live here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I have the girl, the amazing lady who does all of our hair at the Fox 5 Morning News. And you've seen me go and get my hair did. And she's been doing my hair for a bajillion years. She's going to come on live and give us tips about doing your hair at home and how to blow dry your hair at home. I have been struggling with this. It has been a thorn in my side. I know you guys are all struggling with it. So she's going to give tips on how to properly like blow dry your hair. And she's coming on live Monday at 3 o'clock. So if you have questions for her about products, about the tricks, like she taught me so many amazing things about how to blow dry my hair, where to pull the brush down, because I have naturally curly hair that I blow dry out to make look like this. You see my hair. If you came to the party last Friday, you saw me. I was like a hot mess and I had like curly hair and everything. So she's going to be on Monday. She'll be on Monday. I'm also doing an interview in the coming days. This is not something I'm not happy to talk about this, but it's the reality. The cases of domestic violence and child abuse during this time have just gone through the roof. And you got to imagine you have a lot of people at home and everybody has stress, and people who were probably dealing with things even before this. Now imagine you're being told to stay in the house. And the cases of domestic violence and child abuse, my beautiful friends, are through the roof. The calls that they are getting are through the roof. So tomorrow I'm going to be talking a little bit about that, and where, if you know somebody, if you are somebody who needs help during this time, where you can go and who you can call, and what's happening during this time for this type of, and I'm sure some of you can assume. I mean, I'm bumping heads with my Brucey. I mean, we've never been this much in the house together and managing kids together, and both of us are trying to work, and it's stressful. And so yes, if you have questions about that, please send them to me. I have a few marriage family therapists that are lined up, and we are going to talk about if your spouse is getting on your nerves. Is getting on your nerves, because you're just all up in each other's business right now, and sometimes it's really, really good, and sometimes you're like, Rrr. So we're going to be talking about that, and also kids and stress. My kiddo came to me, my little shy came to me the other night, and he crawled into bed, and he goes, Mommy, can this coronavirus just go away? Can it just go away? And I know that we're depending on the kid and what age they're at, or my little Shyla, she's taking her dance classes online, and every time she starts, she goes, "So, Mommy, is it time? Can we go to dance class now? Can we go to dance class?" So, how do we talk to our kids? What are they feeling? They're not in school anymore. They're not around their friends anymore. And then we have the stressed parents that, I mean, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm bumping heads with my kids like every day when it comes to schooling. I'm not a teacher. I'm not trained to be a teacher. I'm a mom. Yes, I'm a teacher in the mommy way, but not in a school way. So how do you get your kids to be able to even do the basic schoolwork? Okay, the basic schoolwork. So if you have questions for marriage family therapists, thank you, Ramin June. Merci, Ramin June. Marriage family therapists about children, marriage, mental, psychological, any of those things. Direct message me your question, less than 15 seconds. You're going to video yourself like this. You're going to say, "Hi, my name is Shalli from San Diego, and I was wondering, my husband is like straight up getting on my nerves right now, and how do I handle it?" And you're going to send that video to my Instagram account, or you email it to me at helloshalz@gmail.com. And I will try to gather all these, and then I'm going to start going and finding answers to your questions. I will post you. Make sure you're okay with your face being shown. I'll post your question, and then I'm going to post the answer. Okay, also, what else? So I'm going to see Dr. Bradley again. So if you have questions about coronavirus, you have questions about testing, I spent 15 minutes talking to him about asymptomatic people, symptomatic people. I talked to him about if kids are going to go back to school come August. I asked him about how we're going to go get our nails done. How are we going to get massages? How are we going to get our hair done? How are we going to dance again? How are we going to do weddings? What does this all look like? How are we going to go to restaurants? How am I going to go on a date night? How am I going to, all these questions that are the normal questions, because I don't know about you, with all honesty, like all the talking of the bigger things, like I want to know when my life is going to get back to normal a little bit. I just want to know when I can go out on a date with Bruce again. I want to know when my kids can go out on a play date again. I want to know when we can go. I want to go dancing. I want to go dancing with our stars again. I want to go on a trip. I want to go to Mexico and have a margarita again. So these kind of questions, send them to me, and I will find answers. I also County Supervisor for San Diego, Nathan Fletcher, he is just amazing. He comes on our show often. And I also messaged him and I asked him, could you give me some time? I know you're so busy running like a whole county and trying to figure things out for millions of people, but can we do like a tape session where I can start asking you these questions? How are these people going to open up? How are coffee shops going to open up? How are restaurants going to open up? How is my mom's bakery going to open up again? How are our kids going to go back to school? Preschool going to go back to school? And he said yes. So we are working on a date very, very soon that I'm going to be able to take your questions to him and get answers. And this is from the county supervisor. So these are the type of people that you want to get your answers from, and not what you're digging on Telegram and WhatsApp and Facebook and all the things that are circulating. Not that all of it is wrong, but we have seen quite a bit of false information up on social media, which has unfortunately contributed a little bit to the problems. Maria says, I see a lot of people going out like nothing is going on. Maria, this is actually a really interesting point that you said. I went to go pick up some food, which you can't get coronavirus from food. You cannot get coronavirus, according to the experts, from eating food. You could get it from touching a package if you don't wash your hands before you eat the food, but this is not a foodborne illness. So I try to do what I can to support our businesses, our local businesses, any way that I can to keep them running, because, oh man, they're hurting. You know, like our Sweet Lily's Bakery, or my mom, my aunt, They have temporarily closed their business. I hope to come with you in a few weeks and tell you that they're back up and running. But they're hurting. Everybody is. So Mara says that Glendale Unified School Districts are done this year. Yes, all schools are done this year. All schools are done until fall. But kids, unless something squirrely happens, we will find a way to send kids back to school come fall. It's going to look different. It's not going to be the same that we sent our kids off this year, but kids will go back to school in the fall. I'm very confident about that, unless something, based on the information that I've heard, unless something really squirrely happens. But I do believe kids will be going back to school in the fall. Maria, so I went to go buy food. Hi, Maso June. How are you, sweethearts? They're going to be open. My family's bakery, they will be open soon for pickup. So that's part of the whole process, is getting creative, bringing businesses and bringing our lives back online. How do we do that? How do you do that and be apart from one another? How do you do that and wear masks? There is a way to be able to do it. We're going to get creative. It's going to be a little weird for a while, but we will be back before you know it. By the way, before I tell you, Maria, sorry I'm jumping all over the place. DJ Al and I have set our date for our Nowruz Gala next year. If y'all don't come, I'm not talking to you all anymore. This is going to be a massive party, like a massive party. Next year, because everybody's going to be okay next year. We're going to all wash our hands, and hopefully we won't be wearing masks next year, but we're going to make up for all the parties that we're not having, and I hope to squeeze you all next year. And we've even tossed around the idea, and I don't know if he's watching right now, we've even tossed around idea about going on the road together and hopping all over cities, everywhere, and just throw these parties. Like, just go here and throw a party, and then go to like maybe Canada and throw a party, and come to New York and throw a party. And so I think more than ever, after everything that has happened, I am going to take DJ Al up on that offer. If he wants to do it with me, we are going on tour, and we're going to come to you. But first, you're going to come to me, Nowruz, Persian New Year, because we didn't get it this year. You're going to come to me March 2021. So you mark your calendar. And I'm going to tell you about all the parties, because yes, I am already starting to plan the parties for 2021. They're already planned. We got dates set, and we're working on details. So Maria, back to your question. I went to go pick up food. And I was one of 4 people in the restaurant waiting to pick up the to-go. And besides the staff of the restaurant all wearing masks, there were 4 people plus me. I was the only person in that restaurant wearing a mask. The only person. And I looked at 4 other people, and I'm wondering, are we not all get like the memo, like leave your place, cover your face? So some of these people who ask some of these questions about when we're going to come back online and whatnot, not everybody is on this train. There are people who don't follow rules. There are people who don't wash hands. There are people who don't wear masks. There are people who are still mingling. There are people, when somebody was asking me earlier, why are we not able to go to the beach and watch the sunset? It's because there's somebody else ruining it. There's somebody else who shows up to the beach and turns that watching the sunset into a full-blown picnic and mingling. That's why. That's why. I could not believe my eyeballs when I went to a restaurant, and I was the only customer in there wearing a mask. I mean, I don't get it, right, Vashti? Like, I'm like, do you watch our new? Did you get the memo? When you leave your place, cover your face. So these are Fadu. They must have missed the memo. They must have missed the memo. So you have it's still better than nothing, because whatever we're doing here in California is working. I'm hearing it's working because the majority of us are staying home. The majority of us are covering our face. In Farsi, we say damitun gar. My Farsi friends know what that means. In English, I guess I can say, I'm so proud of you. And thank you for doing that. Thank you, because we crushed it. We're crushing it right now. We're crushing it right now. We are crushing it. That doesn't mean to stop. That doesn't mean to stop. This is not going to go away, friends, from everything that I'm hearing and all the people that I'm talking to, doctors and scientists and the medical team and the county officials. This is not going to go away for a while. But we're going to learn to adapt to this. We're going to learn to live through this until we can. Yes, Susan, few more months. I anticipate longer. I anticipate the masks are going to be here for a lot longer than that. But I promise you we will get back to normal soon. To the normal, which I don't even know if I really want to get back to the old normal, because this is as uncomfortable as it's been. Hasn't this been a little bit unique? Hasn't this been a little magical? Being able to get kicked out of that wheel that all of us have been on every day. Wake up, go to work, drop off the kids, come home, be tired, do homework, take them to sports, come home, eyes burn, make your dinner. Weekend, same parties, same people, same everything. And all of a sudden, we got kicked off of our box. And all of a sudden, we are learning some amazing things. Things that were probably important, and we've just been so busy that we stopped. That we have stopped. If you are uncomfortable in this time, that's the point. If you can't find beauty in this time, then you have some work to do. You have some work to do. If you can find some beauty in this time, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. Because I really do believe that when you get in situations like this, I don't think that this is the roses and, oh my gosh, this is just so amazing. I can look at a challenge and still find the good in this challenge. The time that I'm getting to spend with my kids are a little bit, as much as we bump heads, at the same time, the stress of whatever, the school and everything on the outside has come down a little bit. Brucey, I don't think he's listening. Brucey's changed. He used to wake up. I hope he's not listening to me. He used to wake up in the morning, just grind hard every day. Wake up, alarm, put on his clothes, shower, get his coffee, run out the door, get to the meeting, go to that meeting, this, that, and then comes home and is exhausted and tired. And then he would go to bed, and then he would do the same thing over and over and over again and over again. And now he wakes up, he gets to see the kids. He is working at a different pace. He was a little stressed at the beginning. If you were watching our live, remember you saw Bruce was crying a little bit. Remember that? Because he was stressed. But now the normalcy of it, it's normal. He doesn't have somewhere to run off to. He has emails that he has to type. He's running multiple companies from home. But it's different, and we're cooking together. And on the weekends, we're not loaded in our calendar of parties to go to and appointments. And you go take the kids swimming, and then I take the one to dance class. And then by the time we come home, we're just like, oh, like who's going to put the kids to bed? So I think that there is a lesson to be learned. And for the most of us, we will look back on this time, and I think for the most of us, some of us, we may take what we are going through for granted, because that hamster wheel is waiting for us. And if we don't learn the lessons from now, and we go back, because we will go back, and we go back on that hamster wheel, we'll be back is he behind me? Paulette, don't be me. then we'll be back on that same thing. And I think all of us are kind of learning a little bit about what life is about, and that it can change in a second, that it can change in 1 second. Um, so anyways, I kind of went off on a tangent with that. So we will be back online soon. I know that the president has a plan. I know here in California, we have a plan. Things are going to look different, but we're going to be okay. You're going to wash your hands. You're going to wear a mask. You're going to socially distance yourself, but we're still going to love each other. We're still going to party together. And we're going to still connect with one another. Look at all these businesses that are coming online now. And people are learning to do things at home. People are cooking more. You're being with your family more. Marnoush says, I love my situation about thinking about money. Marnoush, that's going to fix too. Fix up here and everything else will fix. Okay? If you worry, then that's, in my opinion, that's what bubbles and manifests. That's what drives you. But it's going to be okay. It's going to take a hot second for the money to come out and get things. But just keep in mind, like, everybody is going through this. Everybody, all businesses, everybody is feeling this in one way or another. So yeah, most of us will probably get coronavirus at some point, and we're going to be okay because the medicine will come, and hopefully we don't. But if you wash your hands and you're careful, we will be okay. So yes, I do have all these interviews coming up for you. So again, it is what it is, Anita, the name of my podcast. It is what it is, baby. It is what it is. What are we going to do now? You can all be happy, y'all can be depressed, not half, there's less than half. Be depressed, be angry, be upset. Or you jump on this boat that looks at opportunities and find ways to be creative, find ways to reconnect, find ways to make money, find ways to change your life, find ways to meditate, find ways to smile, find ways to rest. Use this opportunity to just do something a little bit different. And I think if anything we have learned is that when you stress out, your immunity suppresses. You suppress your immune system. So I choose not to be on your fuddy-duddy boat, your salty people boat. I'm not on that boat. It's okay if you want to be on that boat, but you're not coming on my boat because I don't do salt. I mean, sometimes I do like a little bit of salt, but I just don't do salt. So it is what it is. So let me summarize a little bit and wrap things up. If there's anybody, we are not partying and dancing together, TL Evans, on Saturday nights. I wonder if we are not. I'm going to take a break this week. I got so stressed out last week. I tried to go live on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, and it just turned out kind of to be like a little bit of a hot mess technically wise, and it just like totally stressed me out. So I will hope to come back the following week and do something, and we'll have like another get down jam session and I also have so many interviews that I've locked and loaded in the next week that I just want some time for myself to rest and to be with my kids. But I will be back. It doesn't mean I'm going to leave all of this. I'm just not going to dance and party on Saturday. I'm going to dance and party with my kids. Maybe we'll have like a dance competition or something. Oh, I'm also on Sunday, I'm talking about how many of y'all are gaining weight. Gaining weight because all we're doing is eating. So on Sunday, my trainer, DJJ Flex, Operation Killer Muffin Top, I think we're going to go live on Sunday morning, and we're going to talk about how to walk away from the refrigerator and stop eating so much, and maybe some cool little workouts, right, Jokers Love? Oh my gosh, I just keep eating. I had like 5 plates of rice. 5 plates of rice. Like I just, boop, 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 boop. So we're going to talk about how to kind of stay healthy and how to manage that. I think we're going to go live on Sunday and be able to do that. So lots of interviews coming. I will post these so you know when to tune in. But again, SHALLZ Emerodi on Facebook. If you're not already up there, hop on there. Please, love the support. Love all your questions. Instagram, If you want to get access to these videos afterwards, they do live up on YouTube. Instagram, you get it for 24 hours, but they're always up on YouTube afterwards. You just go to my YouTube channel. It's SHALL, the letter Z, SHALL, the letter Z, SHALLZ. You can email me at helloshalz@gmail.com. And Instagram, same thing for you. If you have a question under 15 seconds, and you can record yourself, the question, your name, where you're from, and your question, email it to me, helloshalz@gmail.com. Send it to me direct message on Instagram, and I will go find answers to your questions. Please make sure that you are aware that I will be showing your face and your video up on the social media. So that way we can see who are the people that are asking the questions, and then we can get the answer. If you guys don't have any other questions for me, I am going to, we've been on here for like 45 minutes. I know, right? We've just been eating and eating. Let me see if there's anybody up on Instagram. Let's see. We can maybe go live with somebody from Instagram. Would anybody like to go live and say hello? This is kind of taking a little bit of a risk. Taking a little bit of a risk if it lets me. Now my button won't let me. Who's here? My kids? Hi, Rami John. Thank you. Rami says thank you for my kids love to play ding dong. They go outside and then they just keep ringing the doorbell. They're probably trying to get me off. Shyla, why are you ringing the doorbell? Shyla. Who's this question? Okay, this question is from Keanu. She says, hi dear, how is it possible not to take any responsibility from China for this disaster? Keanu, I'm not involved in the politics of all this. I can just tell you news-wise that, in the news today, there is some talk about an investigation. Hello, kids. There is an investigation that's ongoing into where this virus originated from, and whether it was from the wet markets or from a lab close to the wet markets. I know you've seen probably tons of information on this, and I think until there is a straight answer, we can't put responsibility on anyone until there's an investigation and an answer. But I'm sure at some point when there is truth and we find answers, there will be a lot of discussion about where this came from. But I think right now everybody's just in this mode of trying to contain this and not let this fire get out of control. But I'm sure that there will be answers to your questions. Let me see here if we have the ability to go. Oh, I should also reach out to Maz Jabrani and see if he wants to go live with me. Paria, I know I saw that Maz was live today. On Monday, by the way, we are going to also talk about the census. If you haven't filled out the census, make sure you do that. We'll talk about the importance of doing that. I'll be going live on Monday. My button, my beautiful friends, for me to go live for some reason is not working. It was working. It's not working. الهی قربون آخه میگه چقدر انقدر دوست داشتنی هستی شالی جون عزیز من مرسی. That's such a sweet comment to say. Thank you. I don't speak Farsi here, and I have my reasons, and my English speaking friends and Farsi friends could explain why. Marianne says, where can we watch the interview with Dr. Bradley? That will be on the Fox 5 Morning News tomorrow, and I'll get it uploaded this weekend. I'm working on it right now. Let's see. I'll try one more time for my live button. Ooh, I turned it around. No, don't go around. Bruce, do you want to come say hi before I leave? Hey, Bruce. Brucey. My button's not working. My button is not working. Okay, I turned you around again. I tried to go live on Instagram so I can take your questions. Well, we'll do that. So again, before I let you go, because I smell dinner cooking, and I want to go eat, and I want to go be with my kids, and I want to go to bed. Bruce, you want to come say hi? If you have a question, huh?
Not right now.
But I'm about to get off. You don't want to say bye before I get off?
Bye.
Bye from downstairs?
Yes.
Just come say bye real quick.
No, right now it's not good.
He's not ready. He's not ready. So he'll come and be live with you guys at another time. Maybe this weekend we can do like Friday nights belong to us, date night, and it'll just be me and Bruce, and I can get him to come back. Email me your questions, helloshalz@gmail.com. Send them to me direct on Instagram, 15 seconds or less, your question on video with your name, where you're from, and I will go find answers to your questions. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for all your comments and your hearts and your messages and your likes. I would not be here if it wasn't for you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And please, if you leave your place, cover your face, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and try to stay away. Keep your distance from people. And I promise you, it is what it is. We will get through this. I give you my word. I promise. Okay? All right, guys. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow on the Fox 5 Morning News.